Begin our media coursework, I practiced designing on Canva. I created a school magazine to promote the prefects that had recently been appointed. Although it was a good experience on how and why things are placed in a certain way, Canva's tools were very limiting in terms of image editing, layering, and fonts. Before our coursework began, I had zero experience creatively designing something, let alone 3 separate pieces. Especially with Photoshop, I had no clue about. And to begin with, using, designing, and figuring out what everything on Photoshop did was extremely difficult. However, over the past 3 months of designing and editing on Photoshop, it has almost become second nature. Before I started actually designing, I did a lot of research on lots of different magazine genres such as lifestyle, food, technology, and sport. To understand the features of magazines and where they are placed, I also screenshotted different parts of magazines and combined them into one. To make sure I was ready for taking photos of my main images, I took lots of different photos on my iPhone 11, and once I got my Canon EOS 800D, I also took some example shots as well. I practiced around with the editing and lighting on my phone's default photo editor until I was ready to take photos of my main images and edit them on Photoshop. Once I began in Photoshop, I immediately took photos of and placed my main image in first. As I had previously learned from Canva, it is a lot easier to base all the hundreds of layers around your main image than do it the other way around. I edited all my main images to a natural low-key lighting using the image editors, to which I then added the comic book filter to give off a retro feeling about the pieces. Layers such as text, background, separate lines, images, sub-images, logos, and so on were all added as a separate layer, which I found extremely difficult to manage. I was able to fix that by hiding or deleting the layers I did not need, instead of wasting space. One Photoshop tool I did find myself using a lot was the opacity tool. I liked using it for my coursework as it meant I could evenly show 2 or more layers on top of each other, which meant I wasn't as limited with my images, textures, and text compared to Canva or Google Slides, for example. I arranged 3 different photo shoots for each of my coursework pieces. The front cover was shot at home against a white wall, so I could easily remove the background and edit the photos. The content page, I took photos of multiple people in action at school. However, I only used the 2 serious ones as I felt that took less away from the contents itself. And for the article page, I took action shots of my main image on our local pitch to create an authentic image. The bright pink and blue theme matched with the various layered textures throughout all pages of my coursework is supposed to catch the reader's eye. In most instances, rugby magazine editors choose to relate the colour of their pages to the player's team. In my magazine, however, the colours chosen have nothing to do with the All Blacks, Hurricanes, or Crusaders, and instead are meant to connote forward passes, wisdom, and passion for the game. All of my fonts are very bold and in your face, which is supposed to connote the strength it takes both physically and mentally to play rugby. Both the content and front cover's main images were taken as medium close-up shots to truly articulate and focus on the character. However, my article page is of course a long action shot of my main image running with the rugby ball. The action shot as well as the ball is supposed to communicate how much rugby means to the player and how much time he puts into rugby to become successful. Over the past 3 months, some transferable skills I have learned for production is the need for organization. Having a clear and organized way of tracking what layer goes where and what adjustments have been made to specific layers is as easy as just renaming the layer from layer 21 to dark subimage. And the time it takes to design and make magazine covers and pages is severely underestimated. Time management and organizing manageable deadlines for yourself is critical to maintaining your stress levels and your quality of work.